good. All right. We can get this recording going. We're going to get going. So we got people got one at 5, one at 6, 7, another one at 6, 7. Anyone else want to speak up and say how they rate their week? If not, no worries. We're going to get started.
Well, last week I feel like I was probably at a three, but today I feel like I'm getting probably closer to like a six or a seven. I think I got my first client,
Oh,
Nice.
that's awesome.
and
The celebration. It's
and then
happening.
I came up with a couple of ideas to just to focus on the expireds and the for sale by owners with the 8 week campaign between letters and postcards and such. So just kind
Nice.
of brainstorming over here over the weekend.
Good. That's that's what it is. Here's the most important thing that I heard years ago in a training. It was probably 13, 14 years ago. When you come up with an idea or you think about an idea, stop, freeze, and write it down. Write it down somewhere. Put it in the notes in your phone. It's a great place. If you look through my notes, it'd probably freak you out. I probably have a million. And they're all just different ideas and thoughts and new lead generation items, this or that, what I can do to convert, what I can do to invent something new. Writing a book. I probably have 3 or 4 books started in there right now. One of them I've actually finally finished. It's been in production for like 7, 8 months. I don't know what's taking so long. It's through Westbow Publishing, and they're killing it, by the way. Great publishing company. But one out of like 4 or 5 books I started over the last 15 years, 20 years. I mean, seriously, you come up with an idea, come up with a thought, write it down, because otherwise you'll forget about it. And then you won't ever do it. Or someone else will invent it and you'll invent it and you'll be so frustrated. Way to go, Paul. Good job, man. Write it down. Very important. Write it down. All right, speaking of writing it down, here we go. I'm going to show you some notes on a weekly schedule. And this is getting a little bit crazy. Okay, a little crazy. Here we go. All right, so I got this from another coach. I'm not going to say the name of that coach because you guys know that, coming from an ICC, I'm pretty deep in the ICC, although I listen to so many different coaches out there, but I'm only going to promote ICC, Brian Eisenhower. That's it. That's all I'm going to promote. That and real cop coaching. We got our own coaching platform. All of you, if you're with Legacy or Homes of Idaho, you get access to it for free. And I'm constantly updating it, although I've been a little behind lately, trying to update it, add new videos, do different things. But, promotion, this was another coach. Disclosure, this is another coach. All right, but I liked what he said. It was good. So this is the top producer. Okay, this is what you do. This is your schedule. And then, by the way, I also did listen this morning while I was doing my morning workout. I jumped back into Miracle Morning. So I'm going to kind of tie them both together a little bit. The Miracle Morning and your high producer's weekly schedule. And if you are a high producer, just know if you're not coaching, like high producers should be on this call, because if you're not coaching, there's a thing that you haven't mastered your skill until you start to teach it. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean you've mastered it and you can stop training and coaching, though. You can never stop. Never. I'm sorry. It's a never-ending hole that you get into that you've got to consistently feed your brain new material. But to master it means you should be on a call like this. You should be teaching it. You should be adding value to these people that are on this call. All right. So 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, so this is the beginning. So Q1. So the way he explained it, which I love this, is he said you're going to break it down into quarters like a sports, like you're running a sports team. Okay, you have 4 quarters in a sports team. Let's just say football. Could be basketball. Could be whatever. But 4 quarters. Let's say 4 quarters. Okay, quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. And obviously I got down to 3, so I'm going to get back to you on quarter 4. All right, but we're going to start here. Before you start your day, though, you're starting up here with 15 to 20 minutes, 30 max of role play, and being with somebody. And what I meant to type here was being with somebody that's kind of in the same spot as you, that you're pushing each other. And it's good to grab somebody that's higher than you. That's totally fine. But my suggestion is if you can find someone else that is in about the same spot as you, where you're trying to learn the lingo. I call it cop talk. You're trying to get that lingo going to where it just flows off your tongue. I was watching golf yesterday, and you're listening to these commentators, and they all have the same lingo going on in how they do it. It's funny half the time, right? So you have this lingo in real estate. And that's what that's what you do, and that's how you talk to people. So how do you do that? You got to practice a little bit. So he says you need to have 15 to 20 minutes, 30 minutes max of role play. Review the business plan every day. It must go with you and stay with you everywhere you go. Every one of you, I've given an opportunity to do a 135 form. It's the simplest business plan out there. So simple. But if you don't want to use that, you want to use something else, that's great. But you got to have a plan. Otherwise, you're just flying by the seat of your pants. You have no rhyme or reason why you're doing this. You have no goals. You have nothing that you're trying to shoot for. Okay. So review that business plan every day. This is a daily schedule. Okay. Number three, wake up the same time every day. Now, this has been my ritual that's changed my life, and that was Atomic Habits and Miracle Morning. I told you guys those two books in the last 2 years have been something I've been really focusing on, those two books. Of course, Eat the Frog and these other ones I've been talking a lot about too. But those are the two that I've been telling everybody that if you're just getting going in your business, you must, I'm telling you, you must read those two books, Atomic Habits and Miracle Morning. Now, I'm not a morning person. I'm not. I'll stay up late. Sometimes I don't go to bed till 1 in the morning. Sometimes I'm working. I try not to though. Sometimes I'm just hanging out with my wife and we're watching a movie or TV. We get sucked into the dang TV shows. But not until it's bedtime do I jump into some of those TV shows because I got work to do or family time to spend time with. But I've got to get up the same day every single day, 5-day work week. Now, Saturday and Sunday is a little different, right? That's your break. You're off work. You're the CEO. You've got to make yourself follow this schedule. So you've got to get up the same time every day. Work out. That's this week. You got to work out, guys. If you don't want to work out, a simple walk around the block. If you don't want to do that, a walk around your property. But this is a mindset time. It really is a serious thing. Your health is important. How you feel about yourself is important. And it starts by a good workout. If you don't think a workout, it's been literally proven that it gets things going in your brain, in your mind, in your body. It gets endorphins moving. Things start to happen when you move your body. You got to get around and move your body same time every single day, 5 days a week. Okay, quarter one. Now we're into the baseball, or not baseball, football or basketball, whichever you want with quarters. Okay, quarter one, 8 to 10 minutes of 20, 8 to 10 minutes of 20 conversations with a new prospect. That's each person. So remember, I've told you 5 a day or 5 a week, adding five new people a week. Top producers are shooting for 20 a day. New people. This is new people, 20 a day. That's top producer mentality, guys. We're shooting for big numbers. That could be for sub-owners, expireds. That could be people you haven't talked to since high school. It could be your church directory. That could be a business networking group you've gone to, and you're just getting as many contacts a day because you've got to follow up with these new people, 20 new people. This is how you build your high-level database. This week, okay? So 20 new conversations with new prospects a day. Okay, that's new people, not follow-ups. That's got another time in your schedule. Okay, so then we're going to jump into quarter two. Quarter two of your football team is 10. It's between 10 o'clock. I'm sorry, the first one was between 8 o'clock in the morning and 10 o'clock. All right, but you do those conversations need to be quick. Okay, you're not going to be wasting time having 30-minute conversations with 20 people. You'd never get done. We're talking, hey, this is a bit quick business call. Just wanted to check in with you, see how things are going. Make sure you know I'm here as a real estate agent. Also, I'm going to send you some fun stuff for the holidays. Whatever you need to say. I always say that one because that's an easy one to do. Sending out some Christmas cards. I'm going to send out something for the holidays. That's just an easy one to do. That's why I say that one all the time. But you can do whatever you want, but it's got to be quick. And you've got to have the opening. This is just a quick business call, checking in with you, seeing if there's anything you need. Seeing if you need to pull any money out on your house, I can help you value it so you know how much equity you have in it so far. We call it an annual property analysis. All right. I'll call you later. We'll talk about other stuff. But just getting through my calls this morning, you were on my list today. To be on their list today of your friend, and we're not talking, we're out there, going after, cold calls. These aren't cold calls. These are people you're adding to your database and you're having new conversations with new people. Okay. All right, quarter two is lead follow-up. Now you're following up and confirming appointments during this time, in person, face-to-face, Zoom, phone call, whatever it takes. Okay, so we're actually getting in there. There's several different prongs to this because this is also time you prep your CMA, net sheets, stuff like that. All right, so this is between 10 o'clock and 12. 8 to 10 was 20 new conversations. That's hitting it hard. That's eating the frog, getting it done early, the tough calls. Between 10 to 12, prospects are now high level, high-end, top-producing agents are now doing this six-pronged system here. Number one is lead follow-up. Number two, confirm any new appointments, in-person, face-to-face. Number three is prep your CMA or your net sheets. Number four is prospecting cleanup. This is the time you get to get into that CRM. I've told you, you must use a CRM. You got to get into that CRM and hit it hard. All right. Hit it hard. That's your CRM. Straighten it up. Fix it up. Make sure that the names are correct and the phone numbers are in there and email, because you just talked to 20 people. So there should be no excuses. Make sure they're all right in there. Clean it up and set up a time to call them again in the CRM. Put a note in there what your conversation was, set them up to call them again. Prospecting cleanup. All right. And then what else? Number five, send out handwritten notes. And he says, and Wes Hensley has done this at a high level. Way to go, Wes. And he saw very good results. And he's on this call. If you ever want to ask him questions about it, he'll tell you he's had great results from it. Handwritten notes, they're already ready to go. I always have stock note cards. Mine have like a cross on it and stuff. I can't remember where we bought them, but we have a ton of them. And there can already be pre-filled out. You just need to add the name in there, the first name, pre-filled out. And this is to reach out to all those 20 people you talked to earlier and letting them know, hey, thanks for the conversation today. Just wanted to let you know that I'm here. Here's a thing, and just a little thank you card. Maybe throw your business card in there if you want, but you don't have to. It's a handwritten personal note you're sending them, okay? That's number five. Number six, update sales tracker, scoreboards. Talked about the importance of scoreboards. If you're not keeping score, how do you know if you're winning the game? All right. And so that's the scoreboard time, and setting appointments set, appointment met. That's keeping score, making sure you're hitting your numbers. All right. Guess what? You get to take lunch. That's at 12. Okay. Get specific to nurture referral partners. So go find somebody that's been giving you a lot of referrals. It could be a contractor. It could be a handyman, a plumber, somebody that's giving you a referral. Take them out to lunch. That's, be specific with your lunchtime. Make it a lead generation time. We're talking CEO running a big business here, guys. You should have enough money at this point in time to start taking people lunch. If you don't, hold that one off a little bit. Maybe take them to coffee, or maybe say, hey, take me to lunch. There you go. Have somebody take you to lunch. All right. Now we're jumping into quarter three. And then, like I said, I didn't get for quarter four down there, but I'll get that one for you. Admin time, returning phone calls, text messages, emails. This happens in the afternoon after lunch, not in the morning. We don't open, like, I haven't even looked at my emails. I get scared too sometimes because I'll have 200, but a lot of it's junk. So I'll clean up the junk first, and then now I know what I need to follow up with. But that's in the afternoon. That's after you get your morning lead generation done, and then you get going that. You focus on your pending escrows. Guess what? Escrow companies don't start sending out emails till 10 o'clock in the morning typically. So that means 10, 11, 12, 1 o'clock, 3 hours later, you're finally jumping in there and you're returning stuff. People will get used to your schedule. This is your schedule. You control it. Let me show you what this looks like to throw it into a calendar. And I've been modifying this. You guys, a lot of you have seen this calendar. I've modified it quite some time over the years. I'm going to get rid of that change. And this is what I call a high-level lead generation calendar. And of course, I always say green is money. So if it's light green, it's money, but it's not as important as the dark green. Red is your time. Business servicing time is what I do. Those are my colors. Yellow is typically family, or sometimes if it's an important family event, I'll make it graphite or blue or something like that. Here, I'll show you. Here's my schedule. So I'll throw some blue in there if it's other stuff. Family stuff. I see this one should be yellow. I don't know why my wife likes peach, so she has control of my calendar. So I'll make that one yellow. This one's yellow. All these should be yellow. But that's family time. Okay. There we go. So, and that one. I'm not going to take that off though. Okay. So this one's just a standard getting you started calendar. Start off with a workout in the morning. I do some sort of prayer time. Watch one ICC video, or this morning I read a book instead of reading a video. Last week I was listening to ICC videos. This week I read a book. Now I did my post early. You may have seen it already. It was about this huddle. It could be about whatever you want, guys. Mine was about this huddle. I went live with it. Mine is towards, focusing on recruiting new people to Legacy, recruiting new people to Homes of Idaho, or our real estate team. So mine's more focused towards recruiting. So I'm doing coaching and stuff like that. But as a producer, if I was jumping into high level production, which I am still in production, so I do have time for that stuff on my schedule, that's down here. All right, so what do we have here? Prep for your lead generation. But what's after that? Scripts and role play. Now, it only shows at 15 minutes. I don't want you wasting your time in here doing scripts and role play too long, but you need to do something to get you starting to do the lingo. Otherwise, you're just jumping in cold. Think about that. I'm just jumping in cold. What if you don't have a script partner? Grab your little kid, okay? What if you don't have a little kid? Grab your dog. I don't care. What if you don't have a dog? Call me. I'll do a quick little script session with you. Call anyone you know and say, "Hey, I need 10 minutes of scripts. Can you give me a script practice? Let's go. This is my script, but you better have your script ready to go and I'll be your script partner." And test practice on me. Something like that, guys. You got to practice on someone before you hit it hard, but it's 15 minutes. Now what's next? Review the business plan. Isn't that what I said? So that's 15 minutes. So now I spent 30 minutes. Actually, this prepping right here could be smaller, more like 15 minutes. So that'd be 45 minutes right now if I make this smaller of lead generation. I'm sorry, of prepping, role playing, and reviewing the business plan. Why do we review the business plan? Because the 135 business plan tells us exactly what lead measures I'm working on, how I'm going to move the pendulum for the top wildly important goals. So I need to make sure I have those in there. So mine is I really want to hit social media and online presence, really increase it because that's been one of the biggest flows of business for me. So I have a lot of stuff like 10, 10, 5 in here. Send out birthdays. I want to make sure I'm doing that, wishing people happy birthday. I'm actually going to move this one up right here. I'm going to change it, and it actually should be 5 days a week. So let's make that 5 days a week. Let's go in here. Let's repeat it Monday through Friday. There we go. Bam. Oh, wait, that didn't work. But no matter what, you know what I'm doing. Yeah, I did. It jumped over somewhere else. Anyway, so that's what we're doing, though, is we're adding 5 days a week. So here's some more items I can block out in here because I got a big gap here that I need to do lead generation. And then what happens? I take a break. Okay, you could take a little lunch break or a little break. Go grab some more. Fill up your coffee. I got mine right here. Fill up my coffee. Keep it warm. This is a business, so I need my coffee, right? And then I have follow up with the CRM, SOI, Facebook, text. So I'm doing a little bit of that. And then I'm jumping back into doing some more using 10, 10, 5, 10, 10, 5, using my DTD2, doing the database twice system, making sure nobody gets left behind. Everybody's got a time block in there. Okay, everything's going. Post new video. If I click on that, it tells me what to do. Social media, I'm working on you. Okay. And so that's what every day it actually tells me what I'm doing. So that one's you as well. And so my calendar's making me do the work. Here's some more social media in the afternoon because I had a little open time scheduled there. Okay, great. Drive to appointment, business servicing. So these are appointments I have in the afternoon. What if I don't have any appointments? I'm just catching up on escrows, different things like that in the afternoon. There's time in the schedule to do it. Got to have lunch on there. Got to take my lunch break. What do you think? Good?
Excellent.
Okay. High producers live by this schedule. You must live by the schedule this week. That is my number one thing I want you to do. Set it and do it. Make the calendar, put you to work. We've gone over that. It's important. This week it needs to happen. But everything needs a plan. And you do need to have time to hit that CRM because otherwise people are going to get left behind. You're going to start forgetting people. So they need a note in there and an alert when to call them again based on the conversation. At the most, 6 months, the very, very most, never longer 6 months than touching a lead in that system. And then watch what happens. That system puts you to work every day because you're going to be getting in there and you're going to be focusing on the leads that you need to follow up with in there. But that has a time in your schedule. That's not your morning. Your morning from 8 o'clock in the morning is new people. Feed that CRM. Feed it. And then we jump into following up with leads. And then we jump into, on and on and on. And then we do the reactive work in the afternoon. Happen. Let's make it happen. What do you say?
Yeah, absolutely.
Any content that you got today that you're like, what the flip was that? What the heck's a 10-10-5? You need to send me an email, sean@regroup.com, and I'll respond back to you. You got it. Go get it. Good week. Can't wait to hear success. I hear some 7s and 8s, guys. 7s and 8s next week. Let's do it. See ya.